Hello everyone. In our previous lecture, we already studied the concept of thermal resistance. So, thermal resistance defined as the resistance offered by the material to transfer the heat through it. And from the electrical analogy, we have found out the formula for the thermal resistance as RTH is equal to delta T divided by Q dot heat transfer. And for a single plane wall, for a conduction heat transfer, we have found out the RTH is equal to L divided by K AC. L is the thickness of wall divided by K is thermal conductivity of wall, and this is AC is cross sectional area of wall. Now we'll see the concept of a composite wall. Okay, so what is a composite wall? Instead of taking a single plane wall, if we consider a wall which is made up of layers of different material, then that wall is called as composite wall. So for the example, we have taken here a wall which is consist of a three layers 1, 2 and 3 of a different thermal conductivity as K1, K2 and K3, which has a thickness of first layer of wall as thickness is L1, second layer of wall as thickness is L2 and third layer of wall as thickness is L3. So temperature of the surrounding inside of the wall is T infinity 1 and convective heat transfer coefficient is H1, and outside of the wall the temperature surrounding temperature as T infinity 2 and the heat transfer coefficient as H2. Now the inside surface temperature of the wall is a T1. Then at the interface of first layer and second layer the temperature as T2, and at the interface of second layer and third layer the temperature is T3, and outside surface temperature of the wall as T4. Now I will draw a thermal network similar to the electrical network. As if you see, we have the three layers, that means there are the three resistances, and inside there is a convective heat transfer, that means there is a again one another resistance, and outside is again heat transfer by the convection, that means there is another one is the thermal resistance as convective heat transfer. So we have total 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 resistances. So we will draw here. This is first, second, third, fourth and last is 5. So temperature is changing from T infinity 1, T1, then T2, T3, T4 and last is T infinity 2. So and heat transfer we are getting is indicated as the Q dot. The surface area of wall we will consider here as AS is a constant one for the layer. Now here the first resistance we will denote as R1, then R2, R3, R4 and last is R5. And we have already known the R1 is the heat transfer by the convection. So we have R1 is equal to 1 upon H1 AS, then R2 is the resistance due to the wall layer, and we will consider here the L1 divided by K1 into AS. Then R3 is equal to, similar to the first layer, it is L2 divided by K2 L2. Then R4 is equal to, similar to the previous two layers, it is L3 divided by K3 and I guess here is AS, K3 AS, because the surface area we will take in as again cross sectional area as same, and last is R5. This is again a convective heat transfer, so resistance is applied with convective heat transfer. This is 1 upon H2 into again AS. And if you see in the electrical network, if resistance available in the series, then current flow through the conductor is considered as addition of all these three resistance. So we'll get the total resistance as addition of all these resistance. So similar to that concept, again we will see here the R total is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4 and last is R5. And the heat transfer is taken as total temperature difference as T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 divided by as R total. So this is our main formula. Okay, now we'll see this heat transfer by using a different heat transfers, different thermal differences. We are getting as, so this is equal to, this is heat transfer is equal to same as T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 divided by R total. This is also equal to T infinity 1 minus T1 divided by R1. This is also equal to T1 minus T2 divided by R2. This is also equal to T2 minus T3 divided by R3. Also T3 minus T4 as R4 is equal to T4 minus T infinity 2 divided by R5. So likewise, we can, using any combination, we can find out the heat transfer. So this is the concept of composite wall, and this is our first example. This is our first example of the composite wall. In that, we have considered all the layers are available in series. Now we'll consider another example of the composite wall. In that, the second example of the composite wall. In that, again we will consider the three layers. Again we consider three layers, the first, second and third, but the second layer is divided into two parts, or you can say the second layer is made up of two different materials. Okay, so now we have the thickness of first layer is 1, second layer is L2 and third layer is L3. Now we will see the temperature as, this is the T1, and interface, the temperature at the interface, we will assume that there is a surface temperature is constant one at this interface, and this is considered as a T2, and at this interface again we will consider the temperature as T3, and here the temperature is T4. So we have the temperature drop like this one. Now here the thermal conductivity of first layer is K1 and last layer is K3, and we will consider these two materials are A and B. So we will consider the thermal sorry thermal resistance, thermal conductivity of this material as Ka, and this material have thermal conductivity is Kb. Okay, and we'll consider that these two layers divided the total area, total cross sectional area into two parts. So this is AC divided by 2 and this is again AC divided by 2. Okay, now we will draw a thermal network for this concept. So here, if you consider, there are the three layers. So first we have the first resistance. This is by the conduction. The temperature is T1 to T2, and this resistance is R1, and heat transfer is a constant one through that wall. Now about the second layer. Second layer is divided into two parts, and you will see these two layers are in parallel conditions. So we'll consider here the parallel one. Okay. So this is T2, and this is again T3 temperatures at the interfaces, and this resistance we'll consider as RA, and this resistance we'll consider as RB. And last we have the third layer, which has the resistance as R3. The temperature as last is T4. Okay. Now similarly we will see R1 R1 is equal to L1 divided by K1 into AC. Then RA is equal to L2 divided by KA into AC, but this is multiplied with 2. Then RB is equal to, similar to that one, L to L2 divided by KB into AC. And last one is again R3. This is equal to L3 divided by K3 into again a cross sectional area as the same. Okay. Now we will consider this RA and RB as this RA and RB is taken as the resistance as R2. Now to find out the R2, so R2, if you see these resistance are in parallel condition, so we can 1 upon R2 is equal to 1 upon RA plus 1 upon RB. So we will see R2 is equal to RA into RB divided by RA plus RB. And if you see these two parallel resistance, we have converted into a one resistance. And if you see first resistance, the second and third resistance are in series condition, so that the total thermal resistance is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is equal to again R1 plus RA into RB divided by RA plus RB plus last is R3. Okay. And heat transfer we can find out as the same formula as Q is equal to total. If you consider a total thermal resistance R total, then temperature difference is a total temperature difference T1 minus T4. So T1 minus T4. So this is our formula to find out the total thermal resistances. Okay, so we will see this concept. Now another concept as thermal contact resistance. Thermal contact resistance. Now the thermal contact resistance. So here we have taken a first condition as if wall is made up of two different material, and we will find out the temperature at the interface as a simple temperature. We will consider the constant temperature as T2. There is no difference into this temperature. That means at first layer the temperature is T1, it is reduced due to the thermal resistance offered by the first layer, and temperature will be reduced to T2, and due to the thermal resistance by the second layer the temperature will be reduced to T3. Okay, so this is considered as a ideal condition of the interface. In that we have seen the only a single temperature is available at the interface, but in actual condition we have seen due to the surface roughness at the interface the temperature will be reduced. We have considered here the two materials as A and B. Due to the thermal resistance offered by the material A, the temperature will be reduced from T1 to the TA, and at the interface due to the surface roughness the temperature will be reduced from TA to the TB, and last one the resistance offered by the material B, the temperature will be reduced from TB to T2 again. So why this happen? If you see at the interface, the roughness will be due to surface roughness, there will be some gap will be available. So we'll see here one area we have considered, and that area if you enlarge here, so what we are getting, so this is a material A and this is material B, and due to the surface roughness, due to the surface roughness what will happen, there will be contact. So somewhere we will see the contact between these two materials, but somewhere we have seen the gap between these at this interface. That means if this gap is available, that gap contains some of the air. So heat transfer is considered as Q is equal to Q of contact plus Q gap. Okay, now this heat transfer, so in that concept the heat transfer is find out by using a analogous manner of a Newton's law of cooling. This is heat transfer is equal to Hc A cross sectional area multiply with the temperature difference is available at the interface. Okay, so what is here? Here Hc is called as thermal contact conductance. Hc is called as thermal contact conductance. Okay. And the value of Hc is found out by using Q divided by A and total divided by temperature difference at the interface. Okay, so now the thermal contact resistance now the thermal contact resistance find out by using Rc is equal to 1 upon Hc. That means thermal contact resistance is a reciprocal of thermal contact conductance, and this is equal to delta T, that means temperature difference at the interface, divided by the heat flux. Okay, so we can see Rc is equal to Ta minus Tb divided by Q divided by, or we can again write down it is as Ta minus Tb divided by heat flux. Okay, so this is the formula is available for the thermal contact resistance. If surface roughness of the two different materials available in the wall is so much higher, then thermal contact resistance comes into the picture. Thank you.